Wow. I hate to say this, but I couldn't wait to do this video. I mean, when you break up with someone, you should never, ever go back. And I'll explain why. So, you had a really bad and heated argument, right? And that's what broke the camel's back. So both of you called each other obscene names, and it's over, and you know, you're done. You even went as far below the belt, but it felt good. It felt good. Are you hurting them or making them feel good about themselves? It's an ego thing, right? So I've been with my husband for 12 years and married for 3 and 5 months, right? And I'm convinced and sensitive to anyone that loves hard. And I must point out that anyone can be conned, even those that think that they cannot, especially when there is a reach back. A reach back is when someone reaches back to you to make you aware that they miss you. They really miss being with you and would love to try the relationship again, right? So this is where it gets really sticky. Do you know what gaslighting is? Be very careful, because it's very much out there. When someone wants to control you, and it usually begins with the need to track your thoughts and what makes you who you are, is how you deal with it. They learn your strengths, they learn your weaknesses, so they can plan effectively, right? When someone gaslights someone else, it is a form of emotional abuse that's seen in abusive relationships. Mental, an act of manipulating a person by forcing them to question their own thoughts, their own memories, and the events occurring around them. So a victim of gaslighting can be pushed so far that they can even question their own sanity. And all they have to do is spend more time with you, and only to find out how hungry you are for someone to love you. So you will put up with anything for that to happen, anything to get that love. So there are the ones that act and make you feel good, the ones that interrupt your peace, right? One can't work without the other. Right? So when you miss someone, you simply miss those moments that were enjoyable and the way they made you feel, right? So you don't miss the lows and the lies that made you miserable, obviously, but we always wonder that we're with someone. It's because we love that person, not necessarily. We like that person, or maybe it's just an infatuation. We keep on fighting with ourselves. And that's the reason for missing that person, believe it or not. So sometimes we also miss people that we hate, right? Many times also miss people that we fight all the time with. When they're not around, we miss that. It's crazy. It's a mental thing. But when you want to continue a relationship with that person, you keep on missing it. You need to be clear with your intentions and their intentions. According to me, there might be the following reasons why people do what they do. According to me. You also miss someone special when you are in love with that person, right? But what if it's not love? And it might be infatuation, just for a few days, right? You respect their qualities. The person is always with you when you need them. to lean on, I guess. And if they're not good for your spirit, it's time to reevaluate. And that's why I'm doing this video. The missing factor that you're feeling, believe it or not, there are deep, deep-rooted reasons why people continue to do nonsense from toxic people. Not to mention having these thoughts and dreams about that person makes life even worse. You know, when you think about it, you can't shake them off and move on to bigger and better things if you can't figure out why you miss them. I'll tell you why. We naturally gravitate towards positivity, and if that person you were with made you smile and made you feel good about yourself, makes perfect sense to miss them. But what if that was a facade? What if that was a facade? What if that was something that they used to bring you in, like sex, you know, like get your mind going through good conversation, scratch your list, anything on your list that they know you need and they know you want it, you put it on social media because they know that you are fiending for a specific thing, especially on social media. There's this thing going around, and it's called the frat house. Not a real frat house, but it's an online thing. Here's how it works. A bunch of dudes get together and they troll the internet for women that look unhappy. Married, disgruntled, they copy and paste text messages in your inbox. And I learned this from somebody that I know, young girl that's in college. Ultimately, she said that then they go on and the way that they get you, the way that they work to get you, the goal is for you to fall in love with them. That is where the fun starts. Okay? So here's where the virtual love hack begins. I'm going to tell you this. If you are not prepared for what I am about to say, I am giving you 2 seconds to change the channel. Because it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. I've seen somebody that I really love go through this. And in my opinion, when you break up with somebody, there should be no intermission. I don't care if everything that you see, hear, or smell reminds you of them. You should never go back. Okay? No one should go back. Talk about these things, but I do feel that it's torture. Do you dream about those people that you should be moving on from? You're dreaming about this person because your subconscious is trying to help you through the breakup. What was the breakup like? Are you glad you're out of it, or do you wish you were still in it? What are you holding on to? Are you holding on to hope? Are you holding on to anger? Are you holding on to guilt? Did you do something to mess up the relationship? I mean, these are the things that we ask ourselves. What is it about this recent relationship that your subconscious is trying to help you move on from? And that is the question that you need to ask yourself. This video are for those that are going through a really bad breakup. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you why. For the people in the back, the ones that sneak in late all the time, right? We need to know the difference between a healthy relationship and a toxic relationship. Pay attention. The signs leading up to a breakup is evident. Questions that are being asked may trigger childish reactions and behavior, reactions that are invalid, valid concerns at hand in a relationship. Someone reached back to get you. They want to be in a relationship with you, and they missed you. They miss being with you. Be mindful amount of time in between the breakup, you both are not the same people that you were before, that is. So there's been some growth and paybacks in your head as to how things should have happened and how things should have played out, right? All of that has happened already. You're more cautious, depending on if you were the one that was hurt, opposed to the one that broke up with you. So good news. There's not a lot of time in between I miss you and you meeting someone new as far as comparison is concerned. Here comes the 20-second window right before you officially take them back. I'm gonna help you. Here's your first. Dreaming about someone does not mean that you should take them back. It can be a psychological release for you. I always feel that we are expressing frustration, disappointment, and anger to that person, towards that person, through a dream, because we weren't able to really say what we want to say in real life. That's a release. That doesn't mean take them back. Don't get it twisted. Another aspect is, in our dreams, they serve as dress rehearsals, and they will put us in a very realistic scenario so we can better prepare for something. I don't know, something like what's happening now. That feeling. Through this dream, we are likely getting our thoughts in order, right? So that the number one thing, and you can make sure, by getting ghosted especially, doesn't happen again. 2, you can have your arsenal ready just so it won't happen again, but don't make it a habit. Looking at old text messages, reading stuff from 3 weeks ago, that will drive you crazy. Number 3, expression, out of sight, out of mind. All people, relationships are better when the absence makes the hearts grow fonder. I don't think so. You are happier and more at peace after a breakup that you weren't supposed to be in the first place. So that's a huge relief. If you feel like you can now do the things that you've always wanted to do because they are gone, right? Wouldn't it be better? The disapproval, the hate, the sabotage, all of that stuff. Yes, there are still times when you are going to miss them. But ultimately, it's over. You know your heart. This is what you wanted. You wanted to get rid of them. You wanted to move on, right? So now is your opportunity to move on. The sooner you realize your relationship was from the beginning, the sooner you'll go through the motions of grieving, getting it out of your system. The breakup is over, moving on, accepting, and starting over isn't so bad. So give yourself some credit. You know, you tried, but it's just not meant to work. It's just not meant to work, baby. Move on. Failed relationships aren't necessarily pointless wastes of time. You learn from it. They're always there to teach you something priceless that you can't get out of a book, man. You find out who you are and what you need. That's what it's all about. Thank you for coming. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell so you can get my notifications for the next virtual love hack. I got you.